Welcome back, America. You know, Newt, you've known a lot of presidents. You've been around a while, and I've been around a while, and yet you've never felt compelled to write a book like this. You wrote it about this president. You say you started in October. You cover the entire landscape. What is it that you want to convey in this book about Donald Trump? Because it's early in his second presidency.
Well, look, Cliff and I first talked with him about running for president in February of 2015. So we've spent 10 years watching him. What I wanted to communicate was he's grown. He's become, I think, dramatically more convinced that God wanted him to survive. I think the two assassination attempts, the one where he got shot in Butler and the one where they caught the guy on the golf course, I think those convinced him, just as Reagan and Pope John Paul were convinced that God had spared them for a moral purpose, in their case, the defeat of the Soviet Union. I think it really drove into Trump a belief that God had spared his life, and certainly at Butler you cannot explain moving at exactly the right second to not get killed as anything less than providential. And I think he honestly believes that he's on a mission to make America great again and to bring the whole country into a dramatically better future. And I wanted to communicate, and that's why we wrote Trump's Triumph, because I wanted to communicate what an extraordinary moment in history this was, to have this guy get back up off the floor. He was in terrible shape in January of 2021. He was almost a pariah. The left was trying to destroy him. He just got himself back up, got back into the fight, took every punch, and ended up standing there and winning. It's a remarkable human story.
And you cover it very beautifully, and you cover all the major issues, too, that he's been dealing with and that he's had to deal with as well. You know, Newt, as I read your book and I look at this and I think about what we've all experienced, at least when you look at the last century or so, I think he has the potential of being the most consequential president, even more than Franklin Roosevelt. What do you think?
No, I think that's right. I think that Trump has an intuition about how the world really works, and he is responding to his intuition, not to random experts, not to studies, not to think tanks. And I think what we're going to discover, and I saw this in his address to the Congress when he suddenly did about a 5-minute discourse on merit and the importance of merit, which of course drives the left crazy, because the left doesn't believe in merit. They believe in groupthink, group identity, and so forth. And he came back at the University of Alabama with an amazing series of lessons he had learned in life, which I recommend to everybody. It's about 2,000 words. It's an astonishingly solid, traditional American explanation of how life really works. And so I see Trump not just as a political figure, but as a cultural figure who is literally reasserting the America that historically has worked and is breaking up the entire momentum of the Obama-Biden left. And I think in that sense, he could easily match Roosevelt and may well surpass Roosevelt, because he's also going to change how the world thinks and how the world operates. And that's pretty remarkable.
You know, what I get out of your book here is this is a very complicated man in some ways and a very simple man in some ways. And you literally go through it in ways that are really compelling. You know, for me and the audience, you think you know Donald Trump. We do know Donald Trump, but you address it in a way that really you don't think about it. It's a very, very important book, Trump's Triumph, America's Greatest Comeback. And if Newt Gingrich is going to take time to write a book about Donald Trump, it's worth reading. You can get it on Amazon.com. I encourage you to get your copy. And for God's sakes, this Jake Tapper book is sitting up there on Amazon. Let's knock that out. All right, Newt, God bless you, my friend.
Thank you. Take care.
We'll be right back.